Hello, can we hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sorry, my mic was muted. Believe me, I was speaking. All right, so today we're continuing with DML, data manipulation language. All right, so it's used to manipulate data stored in database. All right, and these are the key characteristics. All right, and we have the three examples. All right, the insert, update, delete. This shouldn't be here. Sorry, we'll get to this later. So the key common commands in DML are the insert, update, and delete. All right, those are the key. So the select, I think this is a mistake. The select is supposed to come in DQL, which we'll touch in our next class, where we begin to query it received data from your database. But the reason why I kept it here, because what I wanted to show, the example I wanted to give, I needed to use select. All right, so there's no way you can 100% completely teach DML. I have to retrieve the data from a database to show you what I'm doing. All right, so let me go back to all right, so this is where we are. Can we see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay. So unfortunately, yesterday I lost the file I was working on yesterday. So I have to recreate what I did yesterday because of my processing speed yesterday. So basically, there are three keywords or there are three SQL commands in DML, which is the insert, update, and delete. So I'll walk us through the three today. All right. So the first one, it adds new rows and record into a table. And this is the syntax here. Insert into table name. Insert into, this is the SQL statement, and then followed by the table name. Okay. Then followed by the keyword value. And inside the keyword value, you put all your records for each column. So remember, like I said, if you want to make use of anything in a database, you always call it. All right. So this is with the use statement, with the use keyword, use TEFEM. Right. If you want to create a table, to direct where the table will be created, you have to direct it to a database. I have a lot of database here on my schema. So, but currently we're using TEFEM. Let me bring this out. All right, so you can see we're using TEFEM, and these are the tables inside. Product over here. Okay, so we use TEFEM because we want to. Anytime if I create a new file now, and I start here, if I want to make use of the database, that's the first keyword. You use a particular database. You type the name out. All right, because so this is it. Okay, so let's go back again. So use TFM, I run it and hatch it. Okay, you can see it over here. Then show tables. You must not follow this um, pattern. This like 100% the same thing. You can just decide if when you master it, you can know how to navigate your way. So the reason I'm showing tables now because I just want to be sure the tables that are inside TFM database. So this is the product. Okay, so to be able to, so this is where the select keyword come from now. So the select keyword is supposed to be under the DQL, data querying language. You've touched DDL, DML, remaining DQL. So just for the sake of this class, to retrieve the database, to retrieve everything from the table, make use of this. All right, so this is what is in the table. Okay, so I'm going to do this now. Let me. So yesterday, I said I'll go over through it again, go over it again because of the hitches we had. So I will drop. I will. What should I do now? Let me drop. I will drop. Let me drop the table so that I can create it again. Drop table. If I want to create it again, drop table. What's the name of the table? Products. Drop table products. I believe that's the table name. Let me. Yes, there's S added to the products. Okay, there's S. So if I run this now, if you look at the table name, there's an S showing you it's plural. But if I run this, which is singular without plural, it will return an error. Look at it. Drop table and look at how to read the error. Unknown table, TEFEM product. So this is how you troubleshoot. So just one omission of something, of a letter, of a symbol, of a number or anything can return you an error. So I'll go back here and put S. Can everyone see my screen, please?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Innocentia, you just try and refresh. Okay. All right. So I'll hatch it again and run it. All right. So drop table. It has affected it. Let me increase my font size so that we can see. Okay, this is better. Really. Okay, so it is more visible. So this is it. Now, if we show tables again, you see that the product table no longer exists. No table in the database. All right, so I can't separate. I can't still select again. So I've deleted the table. All right. So now let's create a new table and see how to insert values within it. Just write something here, creating a new table. Okay. So I'll come over here and see create table products. Okay. And say product ID integer. All right. And then I put my comma. Say product product name varchar. Varchar should contain 30 characters. Let's do 30. Then the category varchar. Let's do 30. Then the price decimal. We can do also 6 2. Then manufacture date. Okay. So we can leave it as a data type. All right, so our table is good to go. Yeah. So hatch everything. Okay, so you can see it. If I select from products, you see I've created a new table. All right, so next thing I want to do is to insert some values. All right, so this is the syntax I will follow. Okay, setting values. This is how we use insert keyword. Okay, insert into, call the table name. So this is the first approach. Let me copy this. Control C, Control V. Turn this into a comment. Okay, so insert into into the table name, which is a product table. Okay, products, and then value. Okay, so we have product ID. We can do 1, which is our first entry. Then the value in colon 2. Okay, which is product name. We can say let's use what we used yesterday. Laptop. Okay, then category, you can say it belongs to the electronics. Next category is the price. All right, so we can say 1200.99 cents. All right, so for the manufacturing date, put this in double quotes. Okay, we use what we used yesterday, 2024. Follow this format, 0115. All right, and then we put our semicolon, signifying that we've come to the end of the entry. So we have ID number, we have the product name, we have the category, the price, and then the manufacturing. So we can hatch this. Let's be sure everything is correct. Data truncated. So it's returning an error. Data truncated for colon price at row 1. Okay, let's check that. Let's see what the problem is. Hmm. One, two, three, 4. Okay, so there's a mistake. I think I've seen it. Can anyone spot the mistake? Does anyone want to try? is to test our level of understanding. If you maybe follow through since we started learning SQL. Has anyone seen the problem? Okay. Loretta.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. So I
Mhm.
don't know if it's you said we should use I mean the keyword is values, not value. Could it be because of that?
Okay. Okay, that's actually one of them. Okay. Let's check. So this is, so if you look at it, data truncated for colon price one, price at row one. So for colon, it's already telling us that it's in. See, if we run this query now, it show you these are the colons: product, product name, category, price. So it tells you that something is wrong with the price colon. So that's how you troubleshoot. And then at row one, that means it's in the first row. So it has given a hint. All right. So it might not really give you everything. So if you see my value is truncated, I put 12. Yeah, Mary Jane.
Okay, so I understand why it showed you because it's approximated the 9 to 1. So the whole this value after decimal point is no longer
Yeah.
there. So
The whole value after decimal point is not.
the number, there's no number again after the decimal point. Like
Okay.
he approximated the value to 1201.
Okay. Okay. So I think, yeah, yeah, it's not very, that's not the reason anyway. Well, that was a nice try. Okay, so this is it. If you look at the data types, I'm supposed to use the comma sign here instead of the point 6.2. Remember when we talked about date decimal data types? The six, this first digit here represents the total characters that it can contain. So I put 6. So that's why the limit here is 6. The whole of it is 6. And then the 2 represents how many digits, how many decimal points. Right. So that's why I said it's truncated. So there's an error here. Let me see if I can run this alone. Okay, it will return an error. Let me create this. To still return an error. Okay, let me drop the table again. Drop table products. Okay, and let me create it again. So I've created it again. And if I return this, it will return, you can see, insert into product. So if I should show values again, you can see I have 1200.99. Okay, so I think for this value, sometimes I think it can work like that without the S. I remember I said something like this, but either ways it will still work. I'm sure from what we've seen now. Either ways it should still work. All right. So Loretta, that was a nice try. Jane, that was also a nice one. So you can see now it's showing us, okay. So as little as these things may look or just present themselves, it can cost you hours of debugging your code. Like I mean, you will not even know. So it will only take experience and then your level of understanding. So I showed you how to just read through that um the error it returned. So at least it will just give you a hint. Okay, it will just give you a hint. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. So I've inserted the table. I've inserted values into the table. So now let's duplicate it. So instead of writing it over and over again, if I were you, I would try to write it again, something like this, so that you get used to the syntax. Insert into, but it's going to take time. All right. So, but just try. Like, so coding, it's an action verb. All right. So it's continuous. If you leave it for a while, you get rusty at it. So try to always refresh or practice as much as you can. So it's the same thing. I'm going to put 2 here because I'm continuing with my entry. The next thing we'll do is, so you can call this smartphone. Okay. So this is how you enter data into your table. And then the price, I'm doing 899.49. I'm already making a mistake. Let me remove this. Then I think we have category. It should be in electronics also. Electronics also. Okay. And then our data type. Use 2023. Let's do March 29. And you put your, so just try to exercise your hands on it. All right. I hope everything's correct. 899. All right. So we'll hatch this, Control Shift plus Enter. All right. So if we select from product again, you can see I've entered 2 values, 2 records here. So that's one way of entering. All right. So, but in the event that you want to make use of, you want to have unique entries, and remember from our Power BI class, unique entries, you have to use the primary key. And what's the primary key? Primary key is a unique identifier that is used to identify each record in a table. It must be 100% unique. Like it must, not 99.9, 100% unique. And while entering records in your table, there's a possibility that your entries can, your product ID, because our product ID is the unique identifier now. So there might be chance that while trying to enter the second record, I can go and put 3 instead of 2 in this case. All right. And that can lead to errors. So this is why I stopped yesterday. So in order for us to do that, let's assume we are creating another table and we want to use the foreign key. And I will show you another step to enter data. So I just showed you this. This is the syntax I use. And then we'll try to use this syntax. There are 2 ways to enter data. So this is how it's done. So let's say we can duplicate this. To duplicate this, we can just do Control plus D. That's Control, the D represent duplicate. Okay. I can just keep on doing it. Okay, Control just to enter. And all you have to do is just to begin to edit them according to what you want to enter. All right. So Ola, yeah, your hands are up. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So I want to kind of find out if it's our job as data analysts to enter this, because okay, actually talking in terms of a large data, like that is in thousands.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that we are going to be imputing it like this also? So that's my question.
Okay, nice question. All right, so someone asked the same question when we started this SQL class. So basically, SQL is not for data entry, it's basically for analysis, right? It's a programming language. And of course, it's very obvious that we can't do that here. Begin to enter hundreds of records, right? So as we progress in the class, there are other options for you to import your data set already. So this is just this is just a functionality of SQL where you manage your data. Okay, let me put it this way. So basically, SQL is for analysis, all right? I mentioned that already. You can refer to that class. But when you load your data set, let's say data set that has records of thousands of rows, millions of rows, okay, and the capability of SQL is it can handle those data sets better than Excel. Excel has its limitation. So in the event where the data set is loaded, right? So I've not gotten to that yet. In the event where the data set is loaded and you want to say you want to edit the entry, maybe you want to update this column now where the price is 1 2 and you want to update it. How do you do that? You have to make use of this syntax, all of these lines of code here, right? So there will be times where you just want to create a mini table in your database. Of course, you should know how to use these keywords, this SQL statement, this clause, these keywords here. So basically, if you want to enter record for your data, it's either you use Excel. Okay, you can use Excel rather, not either. You can use Excel, but there's an option where you can import into SQL hundreds of rows. Okay, so basically SQL is just for analysis, but all of this can come handy later on if you want to edit. I'll show you how to do that. If you want to update, you can see this is what we'll cover today: insert, update, and delete. Okay, is that understood? So basically, it's not for entering data. It's not for entering data, except you want to just enter a new record, maybe a small table of like 10 observations, 100 or something. Of course, it's easier to do that with Excel. All of them have their uniqueness, but these are just functionalities, and you get to understand it better. Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's progress. So, um, so this is another way to do it. So I'm going to create another table. Hatch this. All right, control, and then I'll paste it here. Okay. Use this control C. So using this, so I'm using this syntax now. So I use this one. I'm going to use another one. So this is how it's done. So I'll change this to, let's say, product table. Okay. So I want to create a different table now. And then this is what I'm going to do. In the place of putting integer, I'll add another keyword, which is called the primary key. Primary key. And then I'll use another keyword called auto increment. Okay. So you can see this difference, slight difference. Yeah, I just define this colon as an integer data type colon. But then assigning it as an integer, I want my entries to be unique. Primary key. So once you see the word primary key, of course, you know that it's 100% unique. It's an identifier to identify every record in the data set. So that means that in the event where okay, let me hatch this. In the event where I have duplicates like this, I want to enter 5 records. It won't allow me put the same value. Okay, let's say this is 3. I can call this 4. It will prevent me from making the mistake of putting 2 again. Do we understand? So I'm trying to make the product, that's the ID, the identifier, a unique value. So if peradventure I'm entering the 5th record and I mistakenly put 2, okay, using this primary key, it will return an error saying that there's already an existing unique ID that carries that number. So I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what this primary key is here to do. Okay, this is what it's here to do. So this is how it's done. So I've shown you the use of the primary key. Then the auto increment, if you want to make it if you want to increase, accordingly in sequence, that's what it stands for, auto increment. So the next record, I'm not going to use any of this again. I won't provide a space to include the ID. It will continue increasing in an orderly manner. Right, so these are what these 2 keywords stand for. Primary key makes it unique, and then auto increment. The word auto explains itself already. It's automatic, it's automated. It's just increase on its own. So I'm changing the table name to product table instead of product, so that we don't have conflicting tables to return an error. And then the product ID. So I've used this keyword, and then the same thing I'm going to use. Right, so I will hatch this now, so you can see it has created. So if I come over and say select from product, so another way to, okay, product, let me just go easy, products table. If I run this, you will see there are 2 tables within. Sorry, I'm not supposed to run this. Let me show tables. I wanted to see the tables in the database. If I click on show tables now, you can see, so we have 2 tables, products and products table. Right, so I made a mistake. I don't make the same mistake. I was supposed to, remember I said if you want to create a new table, you have to select the database you want to direct where the table will be created. So I was supposed to use database again. Use the database name, in this case TEFEM. Okay. But nevertheless, since we're using one database now, I think SQL will know where to direct it to, so that you know where to create the table. So show tables, will have 2 tables created, and this is it, select. All right, so there's a table again like this. You can also write this syntax this way, just an extra information, or I call it bonus. I can say TEFEM dot product table to still run. So it's just like when we're writing DAX, data analysis expression in Power BI. If you want to refer to a column, you have to first call the table, the name of the table, then the name of the column. Can we remember? So this is another way to write it in. And remember, we're working with MySQL Workbench, which is a RDBMS, relational database management system. Okay, it's used to interact with structured data. It's used to interact with your database. There's what we call Postgres. This is the syntax. So it's just a variation. All right, we are just exactly, it's just like American English and UK. Okay, they are different, just slight differences. So if I run this, it will still select for me. All right. So product, so the table, the database comes first before the product, before the name of the table. All right. So that's just an extra. So let's say we want to. So let's follow this syntax now. I'm going to carry this. I'm just copying because of time. All right. So we'll do this. and we'll come here and put a comma, right? Okay, let me write it afresh so that we just understand it. Insert into, remember this is so this is how we're going to do it. Then the table name follows. So insert into product table dot, sorry, then you put your, so we specify the columns we want to put value into. All right, so imagine we don't want to put values into different columns, so this gives you the opportunity to put values into the necessary column you want to put. So we say, so we just call out the column names: product ID, comma, product name, comma, category, comma, price, comma, and then manufacture date. Okay, so then we put values, right? I don't even need to put product ID now. Okay, I don't need to put product ID now. I don't need to put product ID. So it will automatically begin to put the primary key starting from 1. Okay. So the difference between this defining this data type and defining this data type is that if you can remember when we were doing data modeling, when we were breaking our the normalized table into normalized forms, there are options that you can put. Your unique ID can either be numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could customize it. Let's say 1A, 1B, 1C. So this can come handy if you want to use that kind of identifier. If you've seen some product ID now, you can just say 1100 hyphen 1100 like that. So that's different. So we'll put in the values. Let me just use this. Control copy. Okay, and put it here. Do we understand up to this point? Do we understand? Let me know. Do you understand what I'm doing? If you are lost, please let me know. May you never be lost. Do you understand? Hello? Can I get a thumbs up if you understand? If you don't understand, I will continue with my explanation. Right, so I'm omitting, okay, thank you. I'm omitting the product ID because I've already defined it as a primary key and it has to increase automatically. So I put my semicolon here. So if you look at the product name, we have the laptop, the category, we have electronics, the price, we have the value here, manufactured date, we have the date here. So and this is another syntax. I'm going to run it now. And so you can see it has run successfully. So select from, and you can see automatically gives us 1. Do you understand? So anytime you're creating a database, okay, this is what you can use integer primary key and auto increment. So you have to specify it as an integer and then define it as a primary key and then use the auto increment. So let's go on and create let's say a 8 or 7 records data table. So I'll get rid of this. To Control D. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's add one more. So we have 8 entries here. So let's change all of them. Data set here. So we use this as so I would have it might take time. I would have done it before. Let's change the price. 899. Okay. Let's change this. I want to have several records. This chair. This will fall under the category of furniture. I call it 150. 150 plus, let's say 75. Let's change this date to 23. Just doing something random. Let's change this to um, say coffee table. This should fall under furniture. Okay. Maybe 255. So the 2023. Let's change the month. Do something random. Change this to say wristwatch. This will be under accessories. Please change the price relative $350. Random number. Or just let's call the remaining ones from. Let's just finish up. I want to use this as a demo file now and carry out some. It could be contributing. Let me finish with this. Let's do 2022 or 15. What should come here? What can come here? Something. Let's just change them. We'll have electronics. We have furniture. We have accessories. Let's work with those 3 categories. Anything can come here again.
Mouse pad.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, just go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Under electronics, right? Or
Yeah.
accessories.
Oh, I think it's accessories. I don't know.
Okay. So let's leave it as 100.69. With this date, this is 21. Okay. So next one. Let's do bookshelf. Bookshelf on furniture. Let's do 310. 310.99. Let's do 2023. 1. The last one.
Necklace.
Necklace. Okay, beautiful. Necklace. Should be under what? Furniture. Electronics. Accessories.
Accessories, I think.
Accessories.
Or
Okay. Accessories. How much for your necklace?
I think 1 2 is okay.
Okay. Look at for the slay 1,200. That's big money. All right, so we can leave the date. So we have all our entries, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let's just leave it here so that I can hope we are good. Let's cross check. I don't want anything to return error. Some can be challenging, difficult. What's it called? Troubleshooting. Not a funny experience. Okay, so let's do this. We can hatch this now. Beautiful, beautiful. So one row affected, everything has run. So we can select. Beautiful. So you can see primary key auto incremented 1 down to 9. So it ensures there's no unique. Okay. It ensures there's no unique value. So I can't even come and put a value now. It's just it's a way of it's called, what's the word now? It's called data constraints. Okay, data constraints. So you are when you hear the word constraints, like you are conditioning something. So this way now, if we use this, if you're trying to enter a new record as you update your data or your database, you just know that you won't have duplicates. Unlike this, right? You see this method. So both of them complement each other. Remember I said if you want to use your primary, you can see primary. If you buy product from Jumia, for example, you can see, let me add this as a comment. You can see their unique ID or product ID as maybe 106, 102, 5, A, 9, 8, K, J, V. Then you see something like hyphen, something like this. You get, do you understand? So all of this, those are IDs. There was a time I ordered something in I think what year was that? I think that was like 2021, 2022. And when I ordered another thing in 2024, that's 2 years apart, I looked at the product ID, that's unique identifier, and I saw an increment. That's over a million. What's a million? Over millions of new IDs have been created because of transactions, right? So let's do this. If you see 102, 4, 5, 6, okay, so this is a 1,000 separator, right? And let me copy this again. Control C, Control V, changes to the comment. So if you come back maybe in the next 3 years, you can see something like this. 4, 7, 8. Okay, so you should. What does this tell you immediately? Okay, no, let me even remove the commas, the 1,000 separators. So what does this mean? If you see this 2 years ago and you come back and see this, it shows you that there's already an increment, right? So these are unique. You see something like this, check maybe your transaction receipts or anything, you see something like this. So they use it to track. They use it to track their transactions unique records, because every transaction has its unique identifier. All right. So, but in the case where you want to customize your unique identifiers, where you see maybe a combination of a letter and a number V, and you come here and see UJT. Okay. So all of these, they are unique. So you can use this in this format now. So I get rid of this and maybe put this here. Paste. Do you understand? So this way this comes in. All right. So do we understand up to this point? You need any, if you have any question, you can ask a question. Check. Can we still hear my voice? Can we see my screen? Please give me a thumbs up anytime I ask a question, or thumbs down, so that I will know I'm communicating. Let me get feedback. Okay. All right. So we're done with, to go back, we're done with the insert. I've shown you how to add new records or rows into your table. All right. And how to add new rows to using identifiers. So the next step will be to use the update, which modifies existing rows in the table. So in the event where you want to, remember I said there's a difference between defining and modifying. Okay, the DDL, which is data definition language, helps us to define the structure of our database or a schema or a table, while the DML helps us to modify the database or table. So to do that, you will use the update keyword alone, but in conjunction with another keyword called the set. All right, so this is it. Update table name. This is the syntax, the table name, and then the colon name, or you can also call them some programming languages. Okay, you can this is called a variable also. A variable stores data, all right, and it changes. So different programming language have their syntax and semantics. So we use the update keyword. All right, let me take this here. Interesting. Changes to rows. All right, so okay. So it helps us all right, now so we have our table in view. Okay. Now if you want to, if there's a need to update it, probably change the name of a particular category, or change the manufacture date, or just we want to update our values or our records. There was a mistake, or we want to change the price if this is a recurring transaction. All right. So this is how we make use of your SQL statements. So say update. So remember our table name, product. Oh, it's correct. To use this keyword called set. So the colon name. So okay, let me give a use case now. So say we want to enter, change this colon name, change which good example I use now. Okay, say we want to change the second entry, which is the product ID 2 from laptop to maybe a tablet. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Set, we refer the colon name, which is product name, that's the name of the table, equals new value. So we want to change the second entry from laptop to a tablet. So we'll put tablet here. Now, how do we specify? Because we don't want a situation where this is what will happen. This is update the product table, then set. The set keyword is an update statement. Set is used to assign a new value to a colon. So we use the keyword where ID or product ID. Where product ID equals 2. Okay, so you can see the statement. Update. So it's like English. Update the name of the table. Update this table. Change it to this value. Okay, where the product ID equals 2. Okay, so if we have this, I think it should run. Okay, so if we select from that table now, this is what you see. Okay, so you can see over here, we've changed the name of the product to tablet it's still under the electronic category. Okay, so now you might not be able to do this on your workbench. So because this set keyword, it comes disabled when you install the workbench, this SQL server on your PC, or if you install it locally, it comes disabled. So this is how you do it to be able to, because if you try to run it now, I'm sure it will not work. So you come to your edit preference, your edit tab here. Okay. Oh, this is not going to show the drop down. Let me share my entire screen. All right, so you come over here via edit rather. So you can see this drop down here. Okay. Can we see this drop down? Can we see my screen? All right, so you click on the preference and then you go to SQL editor on check. You can see SQL editor here. So you click on SQL editor, go down. You can see save updates here. So you uncheck it. All right. So this way you'll be able to use the set keyword. So I'll just go over it again, edit, go to preference, go to SQL editor, you uncheck it. Okay, so it says save updates, which rejects updates and deletes with no restriction. So it says it enables save update option for the session. If enabled, MySQL aborts what is it again? If enabled, MySQL aborts update or delete statements that do not use a key in the where clause or limit clause. This makes it possible to catch update or delete statements. Okay, is that understood? So just in case, Loretta, okay, sorry, your hands are not up. All right, so we're still on the update keyword in under the DML subcategory. All right, modifies existing rows in the data. So for instance, okay, let's make you another use case. Let's give another use case. So say we want to update for more than 2 entries. All right, we want to update for more than 2 entries. What do I mean? I just did for one now, right? Where product ID equals 2. So I change it from laptop to tablet. So say we want to edit or update for 2 entries. Let's say the product name, okay, and then the price. So we want to change 2 at the same time. So I want to change. Okay, let's make it more. I want to change. I want to change the category. All right, from smartphone. Sorry, from electronics to gadgets, and then I want to change the price too. Do you understand this use case? To understand it, give a thumbs up. If you don't understand it, give a thumbs down. All right, so we just did for one. That's what I'm trying to say, that I want to change 2 entries in more than 2 entries in different locations, in different columns rather. Okay, so let me put a comment here. Modifying this. Is it spelled modifying? Modifying. I think there's a Y. More than 2 entries. Okay. Modify more than 2 entries. Use the updates. I think modify should have a value for the updates. Just for easy readability, I like using the caps lock. Updates. To call the product table again, we can see let me okay, TEFEM product table. Can write it this way. Remember I said you can write it anyway. Set price equal to, so we want to change smartphone price now. Let's say there's an update, okay, and or there was an incorrect calculation here, or we want to change the price. Prices have gone up, inflation from 899 to, let's say, 1,000 dollars 84 cents. This is what we're going to do. Okay, click on the tab key, where, so use the keyword where product, or where category, where category equal to electronics. Mhm. Yeah, you save update mode and try to read the table that way. Sticky card. Work, let me see. Hold on. I think I had tampered with something. Okay. Hold on, let me print out where this challenge is coming from. Okay. I'll copy the challenge. There's a problem somewhere. Hold on, let me check this out. Raphael, your hands are up.
Yeah, I wanted to call your attention to what you just did now.
Okay.
So the electronics, the apostrophe is far away from the first one is far away from the electronics.
What's that? What's that?
So you know the apostrophe, is that
Mm-hmm.
apostrophe or double bracket? Is far away from the electronics, but you've done that already.
Okay, okay. I I'm not sure that's the uh Let's check. I'm not sure that's the problem. Let me check this first. Hold on, let me try and troubleshoot this. Set price equals. Hold on, let me try and troubleshoot this. Product ID. No, I use a key colon. Okay. I'm surprised why it's not. Let me disable this. Okay. Okay, so let's check this. I changed. Okay, that's worked. I changed. Update product ID. Okay, let me change this to. Let's see if we can change the record in 3 from tablet back to what was here before. Back to chair. Let's see. Next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's just change this to chair first. So I'm saying update product table, all right, to the product name chair in product ID 3. All right, so I'm changing it to, okay, let's make it very practical. Instead of using chair, what could be an electronics? Let's do standing fan, standing fan, standing fan. So let's select from table. Let's change to standing fan. Okay. Okay, so for clarity, so I said if you come to your edit, something happened. If you come to your edit tab, all right, under your preference, you click on your SQL editor, uncheck this, uncheck save updates. All right, can you see my screen? Hello, can we see my screen? Okay, uncheck save updates here, because if you're using it's just how SQL runs for in the workbench. You have to uncheck. If you look at the error, it will show you what it was. I was trying to understand what the error was saying. The reason why mine was checked because yesterday my laptop had an issue, so I was trying to update it. Okay, I've been pending most of the update have been downloaded on Windows 10. So and it affected my SQL server, so it's everything reset back to factory setting. That's why I lost the files I was working with yesterday. If you observe, I'm not using the same file. I had to create this table again. So it reset to factory setting. So go over to your edit tab, click on preference. So for you to be able to use the set keyword, click on SQL and uncheck it. Okay. So is that understood? That's why it was returning that error. Right. So this is not updating more than 2 entries. This is what I was in. So like you can see, we can call this updating single entries. Updating single entries or record. Okay. So you can see I changed the product name to standing fan here. And then so this is it. Update, you select the table name, set the product name to the new value, and you direct it where the product ID is this. So I did the same thing to update the product table, set the price where product ID is 5. So it changed coffee table from, I think, forgotten the value. Let's check. Let's check here. Coffee table. So it changed the price from $255 over here to, what's it called? So $1,000.84. All right. So yeah, so this is still under data manipulation. So we're trying to, well, we've not started retrieving data. Okay, we're just trying to modify data that is within a table. All right. So say we want to modify more than 2 entries at the same time. So I want to change probably the product name, the category, the price, or the manufacturing date across each entry. So remember, all of these are variables. If you go horizontally, sorry, if you go vertically, that's colon wise, you can call them variables or colon names. Okay, if you write other programming language, that's what it's called. But if you go horizontally, okay, they are called, you either call them observations or you call them records or entries. All right. So if you go vertically, variable names. If you go horizontally, they are records, they are rows. All right. So imagine we have need to edit observations. All right. So we want to change the value we need. And after you've created a table in Excel, you will just come, okay, you click on that cell and just change it and save, right? So now we're working with a relational database, okay, using a relational database management system. So remember I said relational database, they are related via columns and rows. Okay, columns and rows. So they have, the entity has each attribute. Each entity, sorry, has various attributes. All right. So if this was Excel, you just come directly and click on electronics and change it to whatever you want to change. You come to manufacture date, change it, whatever you change. Come to the product and change it. But now we're working in a structured table, okay, and we're using the SQL language. Okay, that's why it's called structured query language. Okay, so you are querying our data in a structured manner. Okay, and it's in relations. So that's why we're writing code. So you see, it's a bit it's a bit advanced because you're writing code before you perform anything. You have to write codes. Or like unlike spreadsheets, you don't have to do that. Okay, so we're modifying more than 2 entries. So this is how we do it. We still use the same syntax, update. Okay, update the table name. That's the syntax. It's just the language. So you can either use the database dot table, which is this TEFEM dot product table, or you can use any of them. You just go directly to product. So the only difference is that in another programming language, in another RDBMS, maybe SQL Server or Postgres, you see something like this. So thankfully, MySQL Workbench enables us to do this. All of these are just SQL is a language, okay, but we have different RDB. What we're writing now, let me make it clearer so that we don't get confused. What when you look at it, MySQL Workbench, remember I said it's an RDBMS. Postgres 2 is an RDBMS, okay, relational database management system that helps us interact with an RDB, a relational database, okay, or a database. But the language we use to communicate with the database is called SQL. So know the clear differentiation between both of them. SQL is the language. The software is the RDBMS. Okay, so why this is the same as this is just like English. We have the US English, we have the UK English too. So it's just slight difference. All right. So we set this to so now let's say we want to change the price, okay, the price across different columns at the same time. So we want to change the price for the categories. So we want to change the laptop price, we want to change the coffee table price, and we want to change the mouse pad price. So you see the use case. Before we just did one, we changed either the product name for a particular record, but now we want to change the record or a value or want to change the data across various records. So you know that from here, this is a unique record on its own. This is a unique record on its own. This is a unique record on its own. These are unique records. So we want to change the price. Okay, we want to change the price. We want to change the price across various records at the same time. So this is how we're going to do it. So we say price. Remember the syntax. Set price. This is the column name or the variable name equal to let's say $500.23. Okay. So you say where the product name. Let's make it easy to read. Where product name. Okay, so we come now and use a different operator. Maybe in the next class, I'll begin to teach us operators. So the reason why I can't go systematically is because while I'm trying to do that, I'll have to reference another keyword or maybe operator or clause or statement in another subcategory. So what do I mean? I mean, when I started with DDL, data definition language, I started with create. I started with let me put it here. I hope it doesn't take time. I started with create. Okay. Then I went further to alter, and I went further to drop. Okay. And if you observe, I later went to use the keyword called select. Okay. Select is found in DQL, data query language. So that's what we'll do later. So I was trying to take it in an orderly manner from DML to from DLL rather to DML and then to DQL. Okay, but when I started DLL, which is data definition language, as soon as I was done with drop, I needed to show how the select statement works. So I went from DLL to DQL. As you are beginning to see all of these programming terms, right? So I can't work with those. I can't work with these keywords without referencing those ones. All right. So hello.
Hi, sir.
So we can't hear you again.
Hello. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Each time I ask that question, I would appreciate a very prompt feedback so that I can know where we are. All right. Just indicate by thumbs up. Did we miss me at any point because I couldn't see any response? All right. So you heard what I was saying. I was talking about DQL, DML, and DLL. Okay. Okay. So this is the operator we're going to use. So we're going to use the in operator. All right. So maybe our next class, I'll teach us how to filter data, which is under the DQL data query. So we use the in operator. All right. So what this means, if we read it just like in English term, update our product table and set the colon price to this value where the product name in. So the reason I'm using in operator, I want to reference several records. Okay, I want to reference several records. So I'll say update it for let's say we want to update all our electronics. Okay, so I'll say update for laptop, update for laptop. Okay, and I'll say update for which other electronics do we have? Update for tablet. Come and say update for what again? Where's the other electronics? Update for standing fan. Okay, I think we don't have any other electronics. Okay, we have one here. And then update for mouse pad. Okay. Update for mouse pad. So then don't forget to put your semicolon. Okay. So I think okay, so I can hatch it now. Let's see what we have. So you see, I've not even touched DQL, data querying language, but I have to use the select keyword. Select from. Do you understand what I mean? Why I'm digressing a bit? I've not started touching. All of these are operators. We talk about operators, how to perform operations on our data. You see the in, the where. The where has its own. So this is it. I'm trying to teach it in the subcategories from DDL, DML, and DQL. Okay. So but you see now I've left DML now, all of this, and I'm using this keyword that is found in DQL, data querying language. Do we understand what I'm trying to do? All right. So we say select all the colons. That's what this asterisk stands for. From where? It's like get me all the chocolates from where? From the freezer. or from the fridge. So from the table name. So we can use, you can say the table name. What's the table name again? Product table. All right. So if we hatch this, control plus enter. Why is this giving me? This is returning error. Okay. There's something. There's something wrong. Hold on, please. I have to reconnect. I have to reconfigure my SQL server. I don't know why it's returning error. Okay, to disable safe mode, toggle the option in preference. Okay. SQL and reconnect. Hold on, please. Let me. I don't know, since I did the update, it reset my SQL server. So let me see. Because I know I'm supposed to uncheck this. But let me check this again. I might have to log out my local instance. I just want to be sure. Let me run this again. Okay. Please bear with me. Let me see. We're using safe mode. And you try to update a table without a where that uses a key colon. But I'm using where to disable safe mode, toggle options in preference. Okay, let's check something. Hold on. I need to. I don't want to. I need to understand this error it's returning. Using safe. Try to update the table without a where that uses a key colon. Okay, so disable safe mode, toggle options. To disable safe mode, toggle options in preference. To disable it, because it's supposed to be disabled. Let me disable it and let me log out and log in again. Product table. Okay, let me save this file. Hmm. Let's see demo. Okay. Hello, can we see my screen? Hello. Okay, I want to log out. I want to log out my local instance. I think that's where it will refresh because I've not tried to I've not tried to toggle that preference before and log out and log in. So let me log out from my um, SQL server. Okay. Can we see my screen? Okay. Can we see my screen? Check this. Edit. So I'll check this. Okay. I hope it works now. No database select. Okay. All right. So let me use this again. Use TEFEM database. Select this again. Okay. Okay. Can you see my result grid? Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can see it has reflected, right? So I change the price to 500. So see all the electronics category. There's 500. Check this ID 7 500. Check this is 500. 500. All right. So this should be toggled. Okay, should be toggled off. All right. So I had to just refresh, log out, and log in again. You saw, so that it will not, so it was conflicting. So we're almost done. So this is for the update. If you want to modify more than 2 entries, okay, at the same time. So we've modified this. We've modified product, the electronic category. We've modified it to 500. So we can as well do it for categories. So if you want to change the manufacturer date across multiple rows or entries at the same time. All right. So that will be all for the update. So we've covered both of them. These are key keywords. So now let's move over to the delete. So of course we want to get rid of data. Okay, probably because of data redundancy, or we are done with the use of that data. It's no longer needed again. No longer needed again, and it's no longer needed again. So we want to delete it. All right. So you can say deleting records. All right, deleting records. Let's just bring this here. Right. Are the fonts small? Do you need it to be increased? Let me just increase it. Innocentia, can you see the font size? Can you see it clearly? Should I increase it? Okay. think this is better. All right, so yeah, it's true. It was very small. So deleting records. Okay. So we use the delete keyword, right? And this is the delete keyword. Let me just reference it again here. Uh, okay, so this is the syntax, right? Let me copy this and bring it down. So we can convert this to a, a comment. So now we want to delete those records, all right? The where keyword we still have to come in. It's a keyword that is used. It's a keyword that is used to filter in your data set. So say let me run that. Let me select this again. So say we want to delete maybe this record 4. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We use the delete keyword. Delete from the table name. What's the table name again? Product table. Okay, where we call the colon name. Okay, let's say where product ID equal, let's do 3. Okay, then use a semicolon and you hatch it. If I select from table again, so we've deleted it. So you can see we no longer have product ID 3. All right. So the important thing is to get familiar. The thing is, since you are new to the programming language, just get familiar. It's like learning a new language. Imagine you trying to learn how to speak French. You can picture how it will be. Okay, so you have to learn. You have to go very elementary. You learn clauses, you learn phrases, you learn how to make sentence, combine, write, how to write French, how to speak it, pronunciation, vowels, consonants. Remember when we started learning English in our primary school? So you can imagine how it is. So just put your mind in that frame, okay, that you are learning a new language entirely. This is not English. Okay, this is SQL, structured query language. So it might take a while, but don't be dismayed, okay, because it's something that you can learn. I'm teaching it, so you too can learn it. All right. So don't be intimidated. Just understand the clauses. Understand. That's why I'm taking time to understand and to teach the basic. This is actually basic, because if you're not going, you might not have to create. You might not see the need to create tables every time because you just want to analyze your data. So imagine you want to select or you want to query your data. You have to, if this keyword, if I take away this where keyword, see, it's already giving me, it's already showing me showing me that there's an error. So if you don't understand the basics, it will be very challenging. Okay, so I have to put it back and it goes away. All right, Loretta, your hands are up. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, like, um, if the let's say the row you want to remove from the table, it it's duplicated. How do you remove the duplicate and still retain one of the rows?
Okay, so say we have first of all, the rows cannot be duplicated since we use this primary. While we're creating our table, we made use of the primary key, the auto increment. All right. So it ensures, it's called data constraint. So it ensures integrity in your entries. So no record. So get used to the terminology. When I say record, I'm also referring to rows or entries or observations across like this. Okay, so no record can have the same value. All right. So that's for that. But let's just assume let's just assume a scenario for your question. So I think from what I understand, you mean if we have maybe product ID 2 is the same thing, laptop, electronics, 500, the date like this. Is it what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's where you use your um okay, so let's just run a demo now. Let's just run a demo now. So the only two things that are unique, that are different here is we have laptop, but this is tablet. We'll have electronic, the same price, the same manufacture date. Okay, the same manufacture date. So let's change it to from tablet to laptop. So to do that, we'll say update update colon the table name. Okay, table. Okay, update table. Set what? Set the colon name, product name. So we want to change the product name to laptop back. Pro, product name equal laptop. Laptop. Where what now? Where product ID. Okay, equals why is it giving me? Okay, then you put your semicolon indicating you've come to the end of the query. So you can see. So I want to see what I've just done. So I will use the select keyword. Select all the colons from, let's use this method dot product table. So I've changed it, right? So I think this is a scenario that you're trying to, Loretta. This is the scenario you're trying to paint.
Yes, sir.
So what's the question?
Yeah, so what actually happened while I was doing mine was that I mistakenly ran the program whether about 3 times, so it got duplicated in the output. So I was now trying hard to remove those duplicates, but I could not remove them.
Okay, okay. Well done, well done. I like the fact that you are following me real time. All right, that's really interesting. So you want to, I'm sure, did it duplicate the product ID also?
No, not this very
Okay,
not
this
this
data.
very method that you use this primary key.
Okay. Okay, so um, you want to remove a particular record, a particular entry.
Yes, that are duplicates. Like the way this laptop they are two now.
Mm, yeah.
Yes. Trying to remove a one and
Okay, so
still
you
retain one.
and still retain one. So I could just copy this, or yeah, I could just copy this. So you use the product ID. So now I want to get rid of just one. Maybe I want to get rid of the first entry or the second entry. So I can say I can get rid of the second entry and use 2 to delete from product table where the product ID is 2. So it's, if I run this again, Control Shift Enter, it has gone. I only have one entry. So I've gotten rid of this duplicate. Does that answer your question, or does that?
Oh, okay. Well, but not really. Like I don't know. The in this example that you just gave now, the product ID, they are different.
Yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
this is what I'm talking about. The
Okay,
product
so it will
I
delete the two of them.
yes, the product IDs, they are the same.
So if you use 2 now, and you have product ID that you have 2 occurring 3 times, it will get rid of the 3 entries. Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. I think I understand. All right. So I think if you want to treat duplicate values like that, okay, 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 it's either I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. Trying to check if a way where you can remove all of them. Remove just all of them are having the same. Okay. I understand the problem. The way you can remove duplicate. I'm trying to think of the. I'm trying to think of. Let me check, hold on. Yeah, there's an SQL statement for that. I'm trying to. It's in querying. It's in querying. I don't want to move faster than that. I can't recall it, but it's a clause where you get to remove distinct. You get to just have your values or your records distinct. Maybe I'll get back to you on that. Okay, I understand, because if you just use the keyword where product ID is equals to, it will get rid of everything at the same time, but that's not what you want, right? And
Right. Thank you, sir.
all right, so it's under DQL, but it might be a bit advanced now. In our next class, I'll touch on where clause, where we get to filter data, and then we would make use of DQL, right? So um so now let me on a final note, this is so we've used the delete keyword now. So let's say we want to um get rid of, let me show you something now, just a recap. This is the final note. So we've done DDL, right? We've done DDL, we've done DML now. Now there's one more keyword under DDL aside create, alter, drop. There's what we call truncate. Okay, is what we call truncate. So if you see most resources out there, most of them, or no, not most of them, some of them they just omit truncate because of a reason. But basically, you have 4 keywords under DDL: create, alter, drop, and truncate. Truncate is to delete existing records in a table without you being able to retrieve it back. So it's a keyword that is just like one push button that takes away all these records here, all of this, and you won't be able to return it. Okay, so it's a keyword that you must be sure before you use it. You must be sure that what you are trying to truncate, you might not, you won't be able to retrieve it again. You must be sure that you no longer need it. All right. So, and it's different from delete. Okay, so this is the truncate. I don't want to. Let me copy this and put it somewhere else. Let me copy. Let me copy all of this and put somewhere in case I want to use it again. I don't want to start writing over again. Let me put a new keyword and drop it here. Okay. So let me insert this in case I want to run it again. This can take time. All right. So back to our demo. So this is how you. This is the way we end the class set. So if you want to truncate, use the truncate keyword. Okay, using the truncate keyword. On the final note, we'll just truncate and end the class. So this is how it's done. Use the truncate. Truncate the table name. All right, before I truncate, before I truncate, any question? Because once I truncate now, I won't have access to all the information. If you have any question regarding all of what we've been doing, just indicate before I truncate. All right. Whose end is up? Ola. All right, go ahead.
Hello, sir. The just trying to ask like a clarification. The lady that actually said she imputed
What?
she ran two logic. I mean, twice. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
more than twice, and she was seeing repeated table. So my question now is, can't we use the delete function to remove the whole of the row? I mean, one row or two rows. So that's my question.
Who was that? Okay, Loretta. So
Yeah, I was the one who asked the question.
okay, yeah. The thing is, in our next class, I'll show us that the limitation to the delete is that now Loretta's problem is that she she didn't make use of the auto increment primary keyword. All right, primary key auto increment statement here that increases. So that's why I said now that's a challenge. That's why I said that the primary key is like a data constraint. It's like conditioning all your entries. It will prevent you from having duplicates. So I think that's what you did, Loretta, right? You didn't use the
Yeah.
primary key. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
didn't use the primary key.
exactly. So if the primary key was there, it would have been simple for her to just reference where she wants to delete, like I just did, delete from product table where the product ID equals to. So but now in that case where she sees where the syntax sees product ID that has the same occurring value, it will delete everything. So if you try delete, okay, it will delete everything that has the same entry. Do we understand? Ola, do you understand? Okay. So any other question? Any other question? All right, so let's truncate. So let's truncate all our information. So truncate the table name. So you see product table. All right, truncate product table. Are we ready for this? All right, so truncate, and then we run it. So if I select from product table again, we don't have anything in the table. All right, we don't have anything in the table. So that's what the truncate does. All right, so you must be careful with this. If you are working with real data set now, once you truncate, it has gone. You might have to create another table. All right, or create another database and then create the table and put it in the database. So by God's grace, we've been able to touch all of this. We'll be able to touch DDL and also look at the DML keywords, insert, update, and delete. You know the difference between the delete and then the truncate is that it deletes, it takes away all the values, it clears everything in a table. But the delete, you can use the delete to select the records you want to delete, okay, from your data or your table. All right, so that will bring us to the end of today's class, and we'll continue with DQL, data query language. All right, and then I'll answer some of the questions. I'm reserving this because I'm reserving Loretta's question now, because there will be some new keywords will be introduced too. Okay, and operators to filtering data, DQL, data querying language. There are other operators too in SQL, and then different clauses that we use to analyze data now. All right. So this is all for DML and DDL. Okay. So the truncate, if you observe now, we still have our structure left. So truncate gets rid of all the information within a table, but leaves the structure. So we still have our structure, so we can populate this table again. But the downside is that imagine you're working with a real database like that is hosted on a server, SQL server, or a relational database management system. Once you truncate, it has gone, right? So that's the difference between truncate and delete keyword. All right, so is that understood? If you don't understand up to this point, please watch the previous SQL videos. I tried as much as possible to explain what DML is, DDL is, okay, DQL, and so this is just I've been laying on the foundation. So it's okay not to maybe follow along. It's a new language, all right. So it's okay, but don't relax too much. Get your hands busy on writing SQL language. Like I said, it's a programming language. All right, and from the word coding, it's an action verb. So you have to be doing it more often, because if you stay away from it, you get rusty. All right, so coding is an action verb. You keep on doing it, coding, writing, programming language, and you get used to it. All right, so if you leave it, I promise, if you leave this in for like 1 week or 2 weeks, it will heave you, definitely. Can tell you. All right. So any question, any clarification, any concern, any suggestion before I call it a day here? All right, go ahead.
And
Loretta.
sir, please, I just want to remind you to still help me to check the stuff I sent to you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The file I shared with you. I said I just want to remind you
Okay,
to still help me to look at it.
okay. Please drop me a message again on my DM.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you, sir.
All right, welcome. Any other question? Any other update, or you want to select? Maybe as we progress, we'll begin to talk in SQL, not English again. Like to help you. Or any other update?
Oh, sir.
No updates. All right. Okay. Right, so thank you so much for joining this call. I think, yeah, I can drop the next assignment now. I'll drop another assignment so that we'll keep us busy before our next class, so that we'll get to practice. All right. So another assignment will be up tonight or very early tomorrow. Okay, so practice, just practice with it. All right. Don't assume you know it already. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.